Aside from Sekiro winning Game of the Year, the Game Awards wasn't all that exciting to me. However, I couldn't help but be intrigued by the announcement of a PS5 and Epic Game Store exclusive called Godfall. The trailer piqued my interest, and although the world premiere relied on details, there were some interesting tidbits that I've gathered which may leave you as interested as I am. After I do some breaking down, I'll let the full trailer play in all its glory so you can catch up if you missed it. To my knowledge, Godfall is the first game to be announced exclusively for the PlayStation 5, which is interesting in itself. I don't think any Sony first-party titles have been announced as a PS5 exclusive yet, so it's very curious that a relatively unknown developer in Counterplay Games was able to announce their new IP on such a big stage. I'm sure having Gearbox publishing the game was helpful in greasing the wheels, but they even gave us a launch window of holiday 2020. To me, this means two things. One, the game, or at least the concept of it, is good enough to warrant Sony snapping it up as a console exclusive for the next generation. And two, the game must be pretty far along because the trailer is apparently in-engine and they were bold enough to give it a release window for a console that doesn't even have a release date itself. CEO of Counterplay Games, Steve Kim, said the game is an action RPG set in a fantasy universe with heroic knights and mysterious magic. He calls it a looter slasher, which may sound a little cringy, but they claim to be reinventing melee combat for loot-driven RPGs. I can't help but be excited about that assertion. Comparisons to Warframe immediately came to mind, but the official Godfall Twitter has some pretty interesting replies. Quote, Godfall is aiming to do something a little different with its combat. We want to have a fresh take on third-person melee combat by rewarding offensive gameplay and making every hit matter. Cheeky, winky emote to cap that off. Now, speaking about that gameplay, there is a 7-second slice that's been making its rounds on Twitter, and I saw it on some news sites. It got to the point that the official Godfall Twitter turned it into a GIF and shared it themselves, so I think we can confirm that this is real gameplay. Very quickly, you'll notice that the game has a parry mechanic and some pretty menacing enemies that can give you a good old-fashioned chokeslam. To the right, you'll notice that the main character has some backup. It was confirmed that the game can be played solo or co-op with friends. I think it's significant that 3 characters were shown in the trailer, and I'm pretty sure it's all but confirmed that 3-player co-op is the max, and you can also do just duo as well. They went on to say that Godfall is better with friends, so you have to imagine that a loot-based game will have some sort of endgame content that requires, or at least encourages, squatting up. A quick note for the PC homies, the Epic Game Store exclusivity is 12 months, which seems to be the norm. PlayStation is historically a bit more stingy with their console exclusives, and I feel like they will be even more so with this one since it is kicking off the next generation. With all of that said, I can't help but be firmly on the hype train for this game. For those that don't know me, I'm primarily a PvP guy when it comes to making content, but I'm a sucker for good melee combat in nerdy-ass settings. Godfall definitely checks those boxes, and I'm really digging their emphasis on redefining melee combat in these sort of games. We'll see what that means and if they live up to that claim. This won't be the only Godfall vid on the channel, so drop a sub and I'll keep you in the loop on things as they get announced. And feel free to speculate with me in the comments. I'd love to hear what you guys think, or just hit me up on Twitter so we can nerd out together. I'm going to let the full trailer play with audio, but pay attention at the end. You'll hear some substantial dialogue from the 3 characters. At this stage, it may just be some filler VO, but I do think it does a good job of setting the tone for how our heroic knights kind of interact in the world. Thanks for watching, fam. Peace out.
On your feet, old blood. Not dead. Yet.
1,000-year war. Just to start the apocalypse.
Beautiful, deadly, right in our way. That's about right.
No storm can stop us.